The Tacoma I dream of is one that puts the interest of the collective in front of the individual. It's also gotten me to think about what investments can look like in thinking about kind of the significance of neighborhoods that have been historically underinvested in or overlooked in city planning. And it's very encouraging to see that there has been a lot of thought in where trees are planted so that we're thinking of current and future benefits of them, especially when I look around and I see kids running throughout the streets playing. It gets me thinking about the future, and it gets me excited about kind of all the opportunities. My name is Amy. I live in the McKinley neighborhood of Tacoma, and I am connected to TTF as a recipient of the tree program.
I'm Valentin Cortez. I am a client, but also a partner. I work at the local non-for-profit Mi Centro. We are focused on the Latino and Indigenous community.
My name is Majid Almateen, and I live in north end of Tacoma. It's my role with the Tacoma Tree Foundation is I was a volunteer tree steward, and I'm also a tree captain.
Hi, my name is Courtney Davis. I've lived in Tacoma for 8 years, and I've lived in the central neighborhood for 3 years.
My name is Rob Crable. I live in Tacoma's South End neighborhood near Blueberry Park. I've been here for 5 years, and I am a volunteer and supporter of the Tacoma Tree Foundation. One of the things that I really appreciate about the Tree Foundation is they think about trees and our urban forestry in a very intersectional and equitable way. And that's important to me, to make sure that we as a city are achieving equity in health outcomes and economic opportunities and quality of life in all these different ways. And trees are an important and critical piece of that.
The way that the Tacoma Tree Foundation has impacted me is through just having some kind of a connection with the community in Tacoma. I was looking for a way to further invest in this community, and I'm passionate about our green spaces and making sure that it's being equitably shared across the whole city. And I love the fact that that is something that the Tree Foundation recognizes and is trying to increase the tree canopy across our whole city in an equitable way.
The Tacoma Tree Foundation has impacted me by helping a lot with my own property. I am a new homeowner, and it's already been intimidating with the amount of work I inherited with the garden, but I want to keep it up. And just seeing the scale and kind of the shock as a new gardener of how much plants cost. So getting to have that help and accessibility really meant a lot to me, because I could have those trees way sooner than I could afford.
The Tree Foundation does a lot of education work and advocacy work to really highlight how unequitable our forestry and tree canopy coverage is here in Tacoma. And not only that, but they're taking proactive steps to make sure that they are helping to correct that inequitable distribution of trees, increasing tree canopy in places. And they're really doing it in a way that works with community members directly. And it's a ground up effort instead of a top down effort. So it feels really great working with them, because you really see their commitment to equity, but you also see them partnering hand in hand with community members and making sure that as trees get out the door, it's doing it in a way that really thinks about the full spectrum of equities.
And there's this dictum in medicine, and it goes like this: you see one, you do one, you teach one, and that's to learn medical procedures. It seems like the Tacoma Tree Foundation had something like that in mind, because one of the first things I did as a tree captain was take a course where she gave a series of really extraordinary lectures all about trees, everything you'd want to know. And the second day, it was sort of a hands-on how to put the tree in the ground. So that was sort of the see one part of it. The do one part of the dictum was a day I spent actually planting trees in South Tacoma. That's an area where planting trees there would have a great environmental impact. And the third part of the dictum is to teach one. And that took more recent, that experience occurred more recently at Roosevelt Park, where we were planting trees, and I was given a responsibility of planting about 6 dogwoods. A group of students from Soda, School of the Arts came and we were able to teach. That was a really rewarding experience. You got to do everything, see one, do one, teach one.
For the broader future, I want all of Tacoma to just have so much trees that it just looks luscious and beautiful, and I want the equation of more nature overflowing just to the point that you can just sit outside no matter where you're at and just get to be in awe of nature.
What's more sustainable than having a tree to provide shade, oxygen, food, and tranquility? Sustainability.
Thriving.
Impressive.
Care.
Joy.
That's what TTF means to me.